F it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Friday, December 4th. We're your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing today?
Doing great, everybody. It's good to be here. It is Friday. We've made it through the end of what seemingly has gone by fast, but has felt like a long week for me personally. I don't know about you. But looking forward to that weekend, that's for sure.
Oh, aren't we all? But, you know, it's one of those things, you know, you have to survive that last day before you can get to the weekend and enjoy things. And luckily, we're pretty much there. Yeah,
we're right here. Well, you know, me, I still got 2 more days before I really have a day off, but that's okay.
Any big plans for the weekend?
Work, yeah. Because I don't really have the weekend.
Well, in football on Sunday.
I have Sunday, so I have like the second day of the weekend, and of course sleep in and watch football. It's in between there. It's just it's a plan. Try to put together a fantasy football team, which normally by this point I have put together, but not yet.
Well, it's been a long, short week, so it makes sense. In any case, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, say you were an elected official, maybe a mayor. What could you do to
Mayor!
to
be mayor.
embarrassingly ruin your career?
Oh, well, that's easy. You know, just add. You could say sex scandals, right? You can always get involved in that like anybody else. Maybe peeing behind a trash can before a concert and getting caught with your wang danger out.
That would be your one downfall.
All that stuff could hurt you. Yeah, it could hurt you.
Well, in this case, a Kentucky mayor was arrested for driving.
Mayor!
For driving under the influence after falling asleep in a White Castle drive-through line and crashing into a utility pole Tuesday night. Harold and Kumar were not available for comment. No, I'm just kidding.
Dang.
Louisville Metro police officers found Shively Mayor Beverly Chester Burton standing outside her silver Cadillac after smashing into a pole.
I just came for White Castle.
After smashing into a pole as she was trying to leave the parking lot around 11 p.m. Witnesses said Chester Burton fell asleep behind the wheel at the fast food drive-through line and even had to knock on her window to wake her up, according to a police report. Cops reported Chester Burton reeked of alcohol and failed a sobriety test when she couldn't walk a straight line. Chester Burton, who was elected Shively's first black mayor in 2018, told police she had dinner and 2 apple martinis at 5 p.m., but then changed her story, saying she had drinks at 9 p.m. The mayor was booked in Louisville Metro Department of Corrections and released Wednesday. She's set to be arraigned on Friday. You know,
there goes your career.
There goes your career, but to be fair, when you have had a little too much to drink, greasy burgers and you know, fast food sounds delicious. Now, in the age of Uber and Lyft, there's no reason to be driving drunk.
No, absolutely not. I haven't had a White Castle, I think, since 2016, 2015. It's been a long time. I don't find them that impressive. Like, it's just one of those burgers to me, like, I think falls in the rain of an In-N-Out, you know, where people of that side hype it up because that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
And then when you have it, you're disappointed. For me, they're nothing great. They're little tiny sliders. But yeah, I agree with you. If you're going to be drinking, there's definitely never a reason to be driving, especially when you have so much stuff. And plus, if you're the mayor, don't you have like an aide that can go run and get it for you? Or
you would think so. but no, apparently not. You know,
Tommy, go get me some damn White Castle.
At White Castle,
that's why we talk like this in Kentucky.
White Castle tends to be more of an East Coast thing, so they're not really prevalent here on the West Coast. I think there's one in Vegas, but just like
we have them in our break room fridge.
Do you really? It's weird.
They're frozen, yeah. They carry them in there. You can buy them for like $3.
I wouldn't do that.
No, thank you.
No.
It would be like if In-N-Out started selling burgers and you could unfreeze them and cook them. I wouldn't do it.
Not so much. For me, what ruins it is the little tiny onions.
Fudge, that was hot.
Is the tiny little onions that they put on there. Because if you ask for no onions and they forget, even scraping them off is just useless.
Oh, it just the flavor of it reminds me of like McDonald's burgers. Like I hated those things because they weren't just onions; they were an army of little tiny, rotten, nasty little onions.
Yep, and you can't get rid of them all. You can never get rid of them.
It's too many. It's like you're just eating an onion.
Yeah. Well, folks, we have a wonderful show lined up for you today. It is Friday, the final day. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
I know I'm certainly looking forward to the weekend, and of course, we're going to take you into the weekend on an up note with good news, everyone. We have a segment. We have a segment, on Wednesdays we do Words Are Hard. Well, today we're doing Math is Hard. Our call-in topic today is self-inflicted injuries. How did you ridiculously or hilariously injure yourself? Being that it's Friday, we're going to be talking with G-Man. G-Man's matchups, NFL Week 13. We close out the day with This Day in History, and up next, Tony is here with the entertainment news. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message. Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. you can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 4th. Now, we have a thing called the Fenix Line. It is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you got drunk and drove through a White Castle and into a pole. Well, we want to know about it. Give us a call.
I didn't do it.
Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, it is the second segment of this show, and you know what that means. Tony's here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, December 4th, and here's your Filippo Fast Five. 61-year-old Steve Borden, known as the wrestling icon Sting, made a surprise appearance on AEW this week, and apparently he has signed a new full-time contract with the new wrestling company. 61, still wrestling.
Face
Good
makeup.
on him. Yeah, it's good for that's a good pickup for them. Miley Cyrus revealed she divorced Liam Hemsworth because there was too much conflict. Yeah, I'm sure that's why you got rid of her.
Tony, she's available.
I just don't find her attractive. Nothing against her.
And
Zero attraction.
she sounds like a chain smoker, too.
Hey, I'm gonna cover Metallica with you. Like Wrecking Ball. Michigan-Maryland cancellation clinches the first winless home season game for the Wolverines in history. They were having a winless season, and due to a forfeit, they get a win. Jim Harbaugh, get your ribbon, sir. Get your ribbon. Participation. Hey, fans of Mulan, the live-action remake is now free for Disney Plus subscribers today. Starting today.
Nice.
If you didn't want to pay $30 to watch Mulan, you don't have to. You can stream it right now.
Perfect.
And lastly, Gal Gadot is going to star in a James Bond-style action franchise from the old guard's Greg Rucka. So, should be fun. I probably butchered both their names, but it wouldn't be a show if I didn't screw up somebody's
right.
name. So. Yeah, that's why we call them Filippoing them. Now, if you may, Kristian, get that Carol Baskin soundbite ready.
You mean
Carol Baskin?
Oh yeah, because Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
She's in the news again. She is like the star. Her and Joe Exotic have been the stars of 2020, in my opinion. Staff member at Carol Baskin's Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida, has reportedly suffered an animal bite.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
The staff are said to have been taken to a nearby hospital to be treated for serious injuries. Baskin does not yet appear to have a statement on the situation. There's also no word on what type of big cat was involved. Was it just a big cat? What do you want? Was it a Bengal cat, a tiger cat?
It's either a lion or a tiger.
Doesn't say, but Big Cat Rescue previously posted on its website that coronavirus pandemic shutdowns have caused the organization to lose $160,000 a month in tour revenue, which is weird being in Florida because I didn't think things in Florida were shut down, but I don't live there, so I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so in a nutshell, she's just in trouble because they'll rescue some cat bit a person.
I heard that.
Carol Baskin.
I heard that employee's arm was almost completely ripped off.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yikes. It's not good. Yeah, it was a serious injury that it's just dangling. But I think that's one of those things, not just with her, like we like to poke fun on, her on the show. And I know when we had Ryan, he used to love Carol Baskin stuff. He'd get all jazzed up. But it didn't matter if you go to a zoo or whatever. I mean, you always run that risk. You're dealing with wild animals that are caged, and this way you don't get too close to them. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, hopefully they have insurance.
Yeah, I hope so. Something tells me like they don't strike me as people that do, but yeah, I'm sure they have some type of legal crew. So
yeah.
In one of the biggest news yesterday to come out, and it was something that was so big, I ended up texting you ahead of time, and super fans Mike and Lacey. But Warner Brothers has decided to release all their 2021 movies on HBO Max.
Say what?
The film industry has been with one of the biggest shakeups in recent history. Warner Brothers decided to follow suit. Not only was Wonder Woman 1984 going to adopt this and still go to the theaters, but it looks like all their movies will just be on HBO Max. The movie comes in the wake of theaters remaining closed and producing small box office numbers. Every Warner Brother movie will set to hit theaters in 2021 will be following the same release format of Wonder Woman 84. They'll still be released in whatever theaters are open.
Okay.
But they will also debut on HBO Max the same day. This includes The Suicide Squad, The Matrix 4, Dune, The Many Saints of New York, In the Heights, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Mortal Kombat, and Godzilla vs. Kong. Warner Brothers is stressing that this arrangement will not be permanent. It's only 2021 films are a part of this plan, which is in direct response to the ongoing pandemic. There's no plans to continue this wave in 2022 for at least right now. We're living in unprecedented times which call for creative solutions, including this new initiative for the Warner Brothers Picture Group. The Warner Media chairman and CEO Ann Sarnoff said in a statement, "No one wants films back on the big screen more than we do. We know new content is the lifeblood of theatrical exhibition, but we have to balance this with reality, and most theaters in the U.S. will likely operate at reduced capacity throughout 2021. So we will see this as a win-win for film lovers and exhibitors, and we're extremely grateful for our filmmaking partners for working with us on this innovative response to the circumstances." So what do you guys think on this game-changing news? Let us know on our Phoenix page. And Chris, I'm going to throw it to you, and what do you think of that?
I think that HBO Max subscriptions are going to skyrocket. Think about it. It's about $15 a month, and I don't know what their free trial situation is, but for about the same price as one movie, you can get all of these movies per month. And I mean, some big names coming out, like you said. Suicide Squad, Matrix 4,
that
Dune.
Huge, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And
these are all movies that I'll probably go see in theaters, but then I can come home and watch them at home as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. I like that they're doing the theater thing as well as putting it on their stream, HBO Max. I mean, that definitely makes HBO Max worth it. Now, as far as the free trials go, I'm about to be Buzz Killington here, because HBO Max kills the 1 week free trial right before Wonder Woman 1984 hits on December 25th. So don't bother waiting to sign up for HBO Max to watch Wonder Woman with a free trial. The trials don't exist anymore.
Still worth the $15 though.
Yeah,
Shut up and take my money.
So you got to sign up. But I thought that was a funny way to tie in. And then to piggyback onto that story, AMC Theaters is pissed about this whole deal. They're not happy. On Thursday, the AT&T company announced that Warner Brothers are going all the movies to HBO Max for next year. Well, AMC signed on, let's see. So these coronavirus impacted times are uncharted waters for us all, which is why we signed up to be with HBO Max, exception to customary practices for one film only, Wonder Woman 1984, to be released. Now with that going on, AMC says we will do everything in our power to ensure that this does not affect us at our expense. We will aggressively pursue economic terms to preserve our business. They are extremely upset because they feel that's going to take away from their money, which, I think they kind of got to understand. It's at least these theaters will be shown in their theaters. So, for moviegoers like myself or you or, anyone that loves movies and there's an AMC nearby, you're going to go. Which unfortunately you're not going to go to an AMC. You guys don't have them in Nevada. But,
Right.
Well, at least not in Northern.
And the thing is, with these theater chains closing down, they don't have much of a bargaining chip at this point. It's not like they can flex their muscle and say, well, we're not going to carry any of your movies. Well, they're not really carrying any movies at this point. So take it where you can get at AMC. And people like us, we're still going to go to the theaters to see the movies. So,
yeah. I think it's double revenue, It's like, AMC's not going to get as much as they normally would, but even if you made it exclusive, I still don't think you'd get everyone to the theater. I think especially during this winter time, we're seeing the COVID numbers going up. People are definitely a lot more cautious. Things are locked down. People are just not going out and they're risking it, Yeah. I think it's a lot of people too that, especially around the holidays, they're seeing they want to see their family, their parents, grandparents. And a lot of no one wants to get them sick because it seems like it affects the older people a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just think you take what you can get and, just pray you can stay afloat, man.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. But, I'm like I said, I'm still going to be going to the theaters to see the movies I want to see. But it's nice to have that option to see it at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I got about 40 seconds, and I didn't mean to make it all about HBO Max, but that was just huge news. We had to talk about it, had to get it out there. And I, for one, am excited to see The Suicide Squad, both in theaters and in 4K HD at home.
Totally.
So I'm stoked that you don't have to wait. You can just watch it when you want, which is pretty damn cool. I digress, and we'll go ahead and boogie on to the punny birthday segment. It's my birthday! It's punny! Oh yeah, this jigga has an Empire state of mind because you wouldn't mind having dirt on your shoulders, but don't worry, if you have 99 problems, Jay-Z is not one, but he is 51 today. America's Next Top Dancing with the Higher Learning Life-Size Star Models host, Tyra Banks, is 47. Mona Lisa Vito once told her cousin Vinny, he can't be a wrestler called The Big Short or in a tag team called Wild Hogs because that's not what women want. Though she is not far from home, but playing Aunt May has been great in the Spider-Man films. I'm talking Marissa Tomei, 56. This dude has a crazy heart, even though he had a bad time at the El Royale. But don't put Obadiah Stane in a corner because he does not abide. He's a young 71. That's Jeff Bridges. Live from Portlandia, it's faux Barack Obama, a.k.a. Fred Armisen, is 53. Candyman. Guy in the Morgue in Final Destination? Ooh. Nope, it's Candyman. Tony Todd, 67. The third best fictional comic book store owner behind comic book guy from The Simpsons and Brody from Mallrats, Stewart, a.k.a. Kevin Sussman, is 51. That is your punny celebrity birthday for December 4th. Have a good weekend, birthday kids.
Folks, that does it for the entertainment news. When we come back, we roll into the weekend on an up note. It is time for good news, everyone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Friday, December 4th. Now we are all over social media with many of you watching us right now as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you want to get a hold of myself on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, being that it's Friday, and there's so much horrible and terrible news, the sky is falling out there, we like to bring you guys into the weekend on an up note with a segment we like to call
Good News, everyone!
Woo! Always gives you those good feels inside. Well, my good news is that David Chang, the founder of Momofuku,
Momofuku?
Got to be careful not to miss...
Afuku! Afuku me, afuku you. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Yeah, you want to make sure you...
No, Austin Fook.
Don't want to mispronounce that. He's also the host of Ugly Delicious. Is the first celebrity to win the $1 million prize on ABC's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire after Sunday night's nail-biting episode. After having been dormant since May of 2019, the game show was revived this year with Jimmy Kimmel as host. What, not Regis? Oh, wait, he's dead. Since its inception in 1999, only 13 people have ever won the top prize on the American version of the show, just 6 on the British version as well. And no celebrity contestant has ever won the full million until Chang did it. Like the winnings of the celebrities who have competed since the show was revived this year, Chang's $1 million went to the charity of his choice. He picked the Southern Smoke Foundation, a Houston-based crisis relief organization for people working in the hospitality industry. And being here in Nevada, that's been greatly impacted as well. After 15 rounds of grueling trivia, the $1 million question was a tense one as Chang used his last lifeline to phone a friend to help him answer, although he and his wife never touched a light switch for fear of being shocked. Who was the first president to have electricity in the White House? Chang called ESPN analyst and journalist Mina Kimes, who herself, unsure, probably answered, Benjamin Harrison? Fans and friends tweeted about Kimes with excitement and praise after the episode aired. An uncertain Chang pondered for a few sweat-inducing minutes before finally choosing to go with Kimes' answer and take the risk instead of walking away with a $500,000 donation. My Asian gambling genes are very strong in me because that's what overrid any common sense, Chang said Monday morning on a conversation with Kimmel. As his victory was announced, digital confetti exploded on the screen and a shocked Chang jumped out of his chair to elbow bump Kimmel. There was no studio audience to cheer him on, so Chang described the sweet feeling of victory in a room that was empty except for himself, Kimmel, and a friend, the Emmy-nominated director Alan Yang, whom Chang also used as a lifeline. Chang said, I still don't understand that it happened. It was the most out-of-body experience. I don't know what happened. He also spoke about the impact he hopes the money will have on Southern Smoke, an organization that donates to small business owners or food service workers when they're experiencing debt or other crises. He said, I wanted to raise some awareness for the restaurant industry. Southern Smoke wasn't able to do their annual charity drive because of COVID. I was over the moon that we could do that because it's been a ridiculously tough year. I was like, man, I want the world to see just what people in the industry would do. So another good example of a celebrity, even though I'm not familiar with David Chang, doing something good for an industry that's really suffering right now. And that is my...
Good news, everyone!
That is some good news, man. I like that.
Yeah. What about you, Tone? What do you got in the area of...
Good news, everyone!
Well, I'm going to read the story, and then it'll bust in. I could spoil... Well, I guess I could just spoil it. It's no biggie. Justin Timberlake buys a $35,000 wheelchair accessible van for a teen with cerebral palsy.
Wow.
Jake Stitt is known in Morristown, Tennessee for spreading joy. Jake, who has cerebral palsy, often sits outside in his wheelchair with a sign that reads, honk if you're happy. This week, the 17-year-old wasn't just happy, he was ecstatic. Jake is known as a local celebrity, and the town wanted to thank him for his positivity. Jake's dad, Tim Stitt, is a military veteran and his son's sole caregiver. Stitt began to lose function in his hands after years of having to lift his son in and out of their van. I'm just worried about dropping him, so I'm going to have surgery on or a procedure done to fix that, the father said. To help the family, the town began to raise money for a new wheelchair-accessible van, which would make it easier for Jake to get in and out of the car without putting a strain on his dad. Actor Michael Abbott Jr., who is from Morristown but now works in New York, started the fundraiser, which amassed thousands of dollars in just days. However, the fundraiser still came up just short. That is until a superstar donor and fellow Tennessean pitched in. Justin Timberlake, who is from Memphis, bought the $35,000 van for the Stitts. He caught the story and he was just very touched what was going on with this thing, and he wanted to reach out and decided he wanted to purchase the van for Jacob and his needs. Timberlake got on a private Zoom call with the Stitts last Wednesday to share the good news. It was just a very blessing to be able to speak to that gentleman and for him to be able to meet Jake and see what he needed, Stitts said. Just hours later, the new van pulled up to their house, followed by a parade. It was decorated with Alabama logos since Jake is a big fan of the Crimson Tide. It's going to make my life a lot easier because there's not many people that can lift him up and sit him in a van like he needs. It's going to make our lives so much easier now because of the independence he's going to have as a young man now. Now that Timberlake purchased the van outright, the money raised by the community will go directly to the Stitts. God's always provided for us, and we keep our faith, and we're thankful every day. It is a true meaning to Thanksgiving, and it's a blessing to our family to make us able to have peace and relax more and not have to worry. Not have worries is amazing. It's very humbling. Jake had simple words for his story. It was blessing, and God bless. So great to hear, you know, when celebrities, we always talk about like when they do good things, but for, you know, like Justin Timberlake, just to happen to catch wind, no one approached him about it. He just happened to catch it, and he's like, that's hometown. That's a great story. I'd love to help and just to make that, to make their lives a lot easier, especially on his dad. I can only imagine how hard that is if he's the sole caregiver,
right?
Trying to take care. And I'm picturing, there's no pictures of the young man or anything, but I would figure, if it's somebody that can't lift on their own, and obviously they're almost a grown adult, but it's got to be super hard to do that.
Yeah, and
imagine probably not the smallest of people either. They, typically, if you're not moving and stuff, typically a little heavier, harder to move, I would guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and these handicap accessible vans are hard to come by. I mean, if you want to try and find one used, good luck. So, and new ones are just so expensive. So somebody like Justin Timberlake stepping in and helping out an individual, especially somebody from his hometown, I'd certainly say that is.
Good news, everyone!
So let's do this. We're going to go into break a little bit early, but when we come back, we've got a segment called Math is Hard. Obviously, we know that words are hard, but numbers are hard too. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, folks, we are to the fourth and final segment of the first hour of the show, but don't fret, there is still plenty of show ahead with our second hour, including G-Man's matchups, where we talk NFL Week 13. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it is easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart. About 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you
Grumbler.
always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. Now, on Wednesdays, we do a recurring segment called Words Are Hard, where we explore the English language and some of the weird intricacies of it or how people misuse it. Well, you know what? Words aren't the only thing that are hard. Numbers are hard, too. Tony, where do you fall in the realm of math? Are you a math whiz? Do you do okay with it, or is it just beyond you?
I wouldn't say it's beyond me. It's not my strongest suit. My problem is I can't make excuses as I'm older. I'm good if I understand it, but my brain, wouldn't like to say I have ADD, but I have I can't retain a lot of number information, and numbers are tougher for me.
Yeah.
So I'd probably not put beyond, but between beyond and be like crappy and middle to good, I'd be like somewhere close to the middle, more so than down here.
That's fair enough. Math has always come sort of naturally to me. I never had to work hard for it, and I'm pretty convinced that it's the only reason Jesse keeps me around. That and tech support. Just because
I thought it was your useless, feckless trivia or your handsome grizzly beard there.
Could be any one of those. But nonetheless, math is hard. For instance, when you're trying to figure out years and age, you have this Twitter user who said, kids born in 2000 are 25 years old. Let that sink in. To which somebody replies, you've been doing meth instead of math, haven't you?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's the year 2020.
Yeah,
About
they would
5
be
years old.
20 if they were born in 2000. I mean, it's just common. That's real basic math.
Yeah. But, these people aren't appearing on this list because they are...
Ooh, that one warrants this. I haven't been able to use this one, but there you go.
Ooh, I like it. It's one I might add to my soundboard.
Yeah, I forgot I had it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fitting for this for that particular answer there.
Moving on with Math is Hard. Here's a text exchange that says, your IQ is 0, and I have at least 500 times bigger IQ than you. To which the person replies, well, I might not be extremely wise, but at least I know that 0 times 500 is still 0.
You ain't wrong.
No. So you gotta know these things, and that's why math is hard.
He's good on that one. He's still got it. He's a little snarky, but he got it.
Tony, do you now, or have you ever had one of those 5-gallon water jugs that you put change in? You see people fill them up, and then they go to the Coinstar machine and dump them out.
Yes. I've seen them. I don't personally own one. I'm sure I could fill one up. There's change all over in weird little places where I'm like, oh, didn't know I had money there.
Yeah.
But it's my grandma used to have a big one that was full of pennies.
Oh, pennies. The bane of my existence. I hate change to begin with. I've got a little mason jar that I put change into, and then when it fills up, I'll go down to the Coinstar and exchange it. But in this case, there is a picture of one of these 5-gallon water jugs filled with quarters, just nothing but quarters all the way to the top, with the caption that says, a quarter a day for a year will get you $9,125. $1 a day for a year is $365. So how would a quarter a day get you $9,125? It just doesn't add up, which is why math is hard.
Who is her?
Moving on with Math is Hard. This one is, again, sort of around the same lines as the first one we read, but the response is fantastic. People born in 2000 are now 36. Let that sink in. To which somebody replies, using that R. Kelly calculator, huh? Basically wanting to be a little bit older than...
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bad math. Dude, I wish if you graduate in 2000, you're 36. Thank you. Yes, I am 36.
Unfortunately, not quite.
No.
Yeah, I know. My birthday's this month, and I feel it creeping up, and I don't know.
Yeah, well, you remember, it is 2020. It's a weird-ass year. You can put an asterisk on that bitch. I like to still say I'm 38.
Yeah.
I mean, the year's not over, so I'll ride that until it's time not to ride it anymore.
Moving on with Math is Hard. Here's one for the international crowd. There is a cartoon image where it shows, water and then water. And of course, the first water is 1 mile that way. The second water is 1 kilometer that way. And it shows a guy rushing towards the first water, which is 1 mile. It says Americans, to which somebody points out correctly, but the Americans are right. A mile is less than a kilometer. 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. So, if you're trying to make a point about how stupid Americans are, well, check your math a little bit, because apparently they are not quite in the right.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
Oh my God!
Moving on with Math is Hard. Tony, obviously you work in retail. You did your time as a cashier. Did you ever struggle when somebody gave you, what's the best way to put it? A certain amount of money and then change so that you would give them back an even amount of change. So whether it was a full quarter or 50 cents, did you struggle with that at all? Like a lot of cashiers do?
No, I was taught so young in my career that of how to count change. I knew how to count change back way before Costco, So, in fact, it was a lady at Arby's who taught me how to do it. Shannon Hiron. She showed me how to count change back. She was like the shift supervisor, and that's probably the best thing I learned at Arby's. That was something I was able to apply to every job, which is as weird as that is.
Yeah, for some reason for me, watching the blank expression on a cashier's face when I do that is almost priceless, because you can see inside their head they're trying to figure out, how much change do I give back? And sometimes I even have to help out.
It's so crazy. It's like, the machine does it, but a lot of these people too, they don't think about it, is if you gave me, like, if your total was $37.98 or whatever, and you gave me, and your change was going to be, that's a bad example. We'll just say, like, where the change back is 75 cents, but if you gave them a quarter, so you just got $1 back. I mean, you can easily just do it in your head, but you just count it, or you could just actually type what they hand you.
Exactly.
If the total was, $12.75 and you gave them $13.25, just type in, $13.25, you get your buck back.
Exactly. Well, here's a person who decided to complain but didn't realize that they were actually on the winning end of this exchange. Says, have you ever been to a restaurant that does not give you the change when you pay with cash? My bill was $47.20. I gave the waitress $100, and she only gave me back $53. I called over the manager, which was our waitress. She said, we don't usually carry change. I told her to give my $100 back and I'll pay with a credit card. 80 cents would not kill me, but it's the principle. If they do this to everyone that pays cash over a year, that would be a lot of money in their pocket. But if she did the math properly, she would realize that she was actually on the winning end of 20 cents. They were just going to eat that and give her back the full buck. So again, people, before you start flying off the handle, check your math a little bit.
Yeah. That one gets good job, a-hole. I don't have that button, so.
Yeah, I do somewhere.
Way to go, a-hole.
Here we go.
Way to go, a-hole! Oh, good for you.
Here's another person who doesn't quite understand years. Says somebody born in 2020 will see the year 3000 when they're 80. No, they'll see it when they're 980.
They'll be long gone too. No one currently breathing or living or anyone coming anytime soon is going to see the year 3000.
No. But again, they may see the year 2100.
Yeah,
that is likely. Where we're at that point.
Definitely, that is a possibility.
Yep. Tony, I know you like to go on road trips. When you're driving along, do you ever do the calculations in your head about, if you're driving at a certain mile per hour, how long it'll take you to get to your destination? Is that something that you do?
Sometimes I'm usually just in the zone of listening to music. But if I'm a passenger, then yeah, I catch those things more often.
Okay. Yeah, occasionally I'll do that math in my head, and if the navigation tells me that I'm going to be there at a certain time, of course that's based on whatever the speed limit is. So if I'm going 5 over, 10 over, which if you're a police officer, I never do. I'll do the calculations to find out, when I'll actually be there. But you know what? Some people can't always do that. For instance, you have person A here who says 2,000 miles isn't that much. Honestly, I could drive that much in a day. To which person B replies, if you drove a steady 75 miles per hour without ever slowing down or stopping, it would take you over 26 hours to drive 2,000 miles, more than a day. To which person A replies, well, assuming you're correct, then let's suppose that I didn't sleep to have more time in a day. Then I could probably make it. And what are your sources for your data? Person B replies, 2,000 divided by 75 is 26.666. It's called math. Basically, person A somehow assumed that if they don't sleep, there's going to be more than 24 hours in a day. That math does not add up.
My name's Jeff. My name's Jeff.
That's just ridiculous, It's oh my God.
Yeah.
That just an idiot.
Well,
if I don't sleep, there's gonna be more hours in the day. No, the day's still just 24 hours in a day, whether you sleep or you don't sleep.
Well, and if you are debating with somebody online, better check to be sure that you're right before you start getting into a ongoing argument.
Yes.
And then finally, in Math is Hard, you have somebody who puts, when I was 6, my sister was half my age. Now I'm 70. How old's my sister? To which somebody replies, 35. Let's have a hard one, please. No. The sister's only 3 years younger than him. But you know what? It's math. Math is hard. That's the way things go. But you know what? I can't blame everybody because it doesn't come naturally to some people. The good news is we've got phones in our pockets with calculators on them, so we don't have to do a lot of that stuff in our brain. Well, folks, that does it for the first hour. We're headed into our long break. When we come back, it is our call-in topic of self-inflicted injuries. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in about 7 minutes. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. To explore our complete lineup, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
In feature story news in Washington, I'm Nick Harper. US coronavirus infections are climbing at an unprecedented rate amid a deadly three-day surge in which deaths have soared. Nearly 213,000 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours and at least 2,500 COVID-19 deaths for a third day in a row. FSN's Nina Maria Potts has the latest.
One new forecast predicts as many as 19,500 people dying of the virus during Christmas week alone. US President-elect Joe Biden, who's about to inherit a country riddled with a pandemic and crippled by its impact, says he'll ask all Americans to wear masks for 100 days as soon as he takes office. On Capitol Hill, there's movement on a proposed $908 billion deal to inject into the faltering economy in a bid to avert what many are calling a COVID cliff. Meanwhile, California is braced for new stay-at-home orders, and the US reported more than 14.1 million infections and 275,000 deaths since February. Nina Maria Potts, Washington.
In the UK, Downing Street has defended the country's medicines regulator after top US disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci criticised the rapid approval of the Pfizer vaccine. Dr. Fauci has since withdrawn his statements and said he has a great deal of confidence in the UK's regulatory processes. FSN's Hannah Simpson has more from London.
A spokesman for the Prime Minister said the UK's regulator, MHRA, followed rigorous international standards in assessing the coronavirus vaccine. The government says the regulator is a world leader in its field and reiterated no corners have been cut in approving the Pfizer vaccine. America's top infectious diseases expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, warned rapid approval could undermine confidence in the jab and said the UK had not reviewed the vaccine as carefully as US health regulators. He later retracted his statements and apologised. Hannah Simpson, London.
11th hour talks to reach a post-Brexit trade deal appear to be hanging in the balance after the EU reportedly hardened its negotiating position. It's now expected talks could reach a dramatic climax this weekend, although UK government sources say the chance of a Brexit deal have receded. FSN's Lucy Hoff has this from Brussels.
After another night of marathon talks, a deal now seems to be hanging in the balance. The EU disputes the claim from the UK of new 11th hour demands, saying there were no surprises on their side. The sticking points remain fishing rights and competition rules, particularly how those rules would be enforced moving forward. We're expecting a showdown this weekend with possible high-level talks between UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. The current rules end on the 31st of December. If there's no deal, border checks and taxes will be introduced.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother!
We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks, to the second hour of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Friday, December 4th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, did you get a chance to get your smoothie on the break, or too busy texting employees?
Sure did. No, I got it done.
Nice. That Nutribullet.
That was just a little longer today, so.
Gotcha. The Nutribullet still working well, or Vitamix, Vitality.
The Vitamix, yeah. It has a little attachment that's like a NutriBullet. And yesterday I tried the bigger one. It's a little easier. The Vitamix one's a little tricky because you got to fill it just right. You don't want to overfill it. So,
all right.
But yeah, no, it was good. And I also I had to put the laundry in the dryer. So, little in between break stuff. So,
a little behind the scenes for you.
Super exciting.
Speaking of behind the scenes, for those of you who normally watch the show, you may have noticed a slight change in my camera. I moved the camera from there to here, and noticed that today my right side palsy's acting up a little bit. For those of you who don't know, what was it, 2 years ago now, I did a run for the dog rescue nonprofit, transporting some dogs up to the Canadian border. And when I was in the middle of Yellowstone, half my face stopped working. And it's a thing called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, which is a more severe version of Bell's palsy. And my face was frozen for about an entire year, a little over an entire year, before I started getting movement back. But now every time I get either tired or a little stressed, for some reason it starts wearing down. And of course, it's noticeable now that I've moved the camera. So, again, a little behind-the-scenes stuff, but it might be along the same lines as what our interactive topic is. So, speaking of which, this is the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, about the topic of the day. Now, the way we do it is we give you the topic the day beforehand, giving you guys 24 hours to chime in. Give us a call on the Fenix Line. Leave your message. Let us know what your story is, what you think, what your suggestion is, whatever it may be. That number, 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. Today's topic is self-induced injuries. And the reason I picked this one is a conversation Tony and I had a little bit earlier in the week about, he used to have this tradition of playing football on Thanksgiving. And what happened the last time you did that, Tone?
Well, it ended my Turkey Day football career. I went to tackle a guy, which it wasn't tackle, but it was like, I was going for his flag. And when I made a leap at him, it's like I hooked him to get his flag. And when we went down, I landed awkwardly on my shoulder. And I got up, and, I've never broken anything other than one I will share when we get to that point. I've only broken one bone in my entire 38 years of existence. And when I landed, it hurt, and I was like, oh no. And I could instantly feel it. It was a burning sensation. And I was like, well, ice it up. It's probably just a bruise. I probably just strained something. It took about a year almost for it to heal. And I never went to the doctor. I just iced it up and stuff. But my shoulder was jacked. I was in a lot of pain for a long time. I should have went to a doctor probably, but I was like, I don't want surgery, or I don't want something like that. So, I mean, it's all good now. It doesn't hurt, but it was enough, to be miserable for a long time that it wasn't worth it to get back into the game at that point.
And needless to say, your flag football days are behind you now.
Yep, they're done. Yeah.
He's on fire!
Not no more, I'm not.
Yeah. That's the thing, when you're approaching a certain age, you think you can do everything, but you certainly can't. And, I don't know about you, Tony, but the older I get, the more creaks and pops and pain I feel.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So I just stick to the gym. Another thing I've cut back on doing as I've gotten older too is running on the treadmill. I was really big about running on the treadmill for years, and everyone says it's really bad for your knees. And, for a long time, I'd probably say for about 5 or 6 years, I was doing that almost daily, and finally my knees started hurting. I was like, oh, I better not do this. So, I went to the elliptical versus the treadmill. Like, I'll still do the treadmill, but I don't do it as much as I used to. It's more elliptical based, things that are easier on my joints.
Yeah, the elliptical is, low impact. I think I've mentioned it before. I have fibromyalgia, and if I go to the gym, I have to do the elliptical. If I'm doing any sort of treadmill, my body is aching afterwards. Not in the good way after a workout, but just because of that
but in a bad
high
way,
impact.
That's why I limit mine. I don't do what I used to. I used to do like 45 to an hour on a treadmill, like at a 7 to 10 speed. Yeah. So I got rid of the jiggly, the jobblies. That's how I got rid of them.
The little love handles.
Yeah, it's how I shrunk the love handles and stuff, yeah.
Well, folks, we want to hear from you. Go ahead and chime in on our Facebook page, on the video, facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just click into the live video. Comment there. Let us know how you ridiculously or hilariously injured yourself. We want to hear all about it. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, it is all about you guys. Stay tuned for just a few minutes.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Friday, December 4th. Now we're smack dab in the middle of our call-in topic, the interact portion of the show, where we invite you guys to chime in on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just go into the live video there and put your comment into the comment section. What we're talking about today is the ridiculous or hilarious ways that you've injured yourself. Obviously, accidents are one thing, but, if it could have been prevented, if there's something that you could have done differently, then... at least it makes for a great story. For me, before we get to our people chiming in, I was going back and forth between a couple of them, but I think probably the most appropriate one is I had gone on a Costco run for an event I was doing, picked up 2 cases of bottled water and 2 cases of canned sodas. And, individually those are quite heavy. Figured, you know what?
Oh, are they?
I don't know. I'm going to take one of these
every night. I totally get you.
I'm going to take a flimsy little dolly and try and stack them all on there and just move them across this little parking lot space. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Well, got a little top heavy, and of course, when it fell right onto my toe. And God, my toe was purple for weeks. I think the nail fell off. And it's just one of those things that if I had done it in 2 runs or even 4 runs, I could have avoided that whole mess. But that's what we're talking about, ridiculous ways you've injured yourself. And then we are inviting you to chime in on the Facebook page like Jamie Anna Munson did. And she simply put...
Oh, Jamie Anna.
She simply put stun gun. I want to know more of that story, Jamie Anna. So
yeah, definitely let us know. I mean, if I don't hear it now, I'm going to ask you when I see you at work. Yeah, work with her. Thanks for chiming in.
Yeah, definitely. I just...
So it's good to get new faces to chime in on the show too, which is great.
And I have a feeling there's so much more to that story. We want to know. What about?
Yeah, I want to know that for sure.
What about your end, Tony? I've been hearing those chimes going off, so I assume that
no,
you got
those
something.
Chimes are not what you assume. You think it would be like Super Friends, the Yendras today, but no, it's not. It's just people replying if they can do the late shift at work. So, I got the good news, everyone. I have to do another overnight, so I have to rally up troops to go in. So no, but I'll share a different one of mine in the meantime. I'll tell you about the one time I broke a bone, the only time I broke a bone in my body. It was Mayhem Fest 2011. I think it was the Rockstar Mayhem Fest, like 2011.
Okay.
It was at Fiddler's Green, and it started out with a day of tailgate drinking with Shipley and the crew. Oh, good. Somebody did chime in too, so I actually have another one to share.
Okay, cool.
It's not mine because Lacey just chimed in. But so we pregame. I was married at the time. My sister had come out, and we were doing shots. We were doing Fireball, Jaeger shots, and all this stuff. And we just got stupid pregame drunk. And this festival, of course, is so many metal bands. It's in the heat of the summer. Well, during the opening part, Atreyu was playing in the dirt parking lot. And I remember, I mean, obviously just stupid drunk. I remember bits and pieces. I remember Denny laughing because the guitarist of Airborne was on somebody's shoulders playing guitar by us. And Denny's like, this is so cool. Well, anyways, during Atreyu, like a big old mosh pit broke out. And during the pit, of course, I did have the man jobbly, so I had a little bit thicker skin to bounce around. Now I just get annihilated, but back then, a little beefier, I could do it. During the pit, at some point, I jammed my pinky, and I guess it like yanked back, and I broke my pinky. And I didn't know until the next morning. Like, I had the worst hangover. I had a pissed off wife because I was too flirty with some girls. Apparently, I don't remember. I did have pink lipstick on my cheek, so that's probably not a good thing. But and then I remember Denny had to come save me during an Avenged Sevenfold mosh pit because I was in a moshing mood. I had a busted open face and a broken pinky, so it was a very painful next morning.
Well, there's nothing more metal than a broken pinky.
Yeah, broken pinky, but man, in the
like...
pictures, my face, I had blood all over. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's an embarrassing way to hurt yourself for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's you're looking for these ridiculous ways of how you hilariously did it. Well, add alcohol, kids. You can do anything stupid. Lacey chimed in and put, I stabbed myself in the leg with a knife while tapping a pizza box on my leg. So I'm thinking what she was trying to do is, if I'm guessing, she was cutting the pizza box. Okay. And then when it went through, then it stabbed her leg.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing, you know. It's kind of like at work, we get those with box cutters. You know, I always teach them, cut away from yourself, never towards you. Well, sometimes people are holding the box, and when they're cutting, you know, their thumb or something's there. And, you know, it's preventable stuff. Those are just accidents. But, like, you know, I don't know. You'd have to chime in, Lace, to tell me why that was hilarious, because it sounds like, you know, I feel bad for you. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
now, the funny thing is...
Like, gotta get Totino's pizza!
While you were reading that text, in my head, I was picturing that scene from Talladega Nights where Will Ferrell's got the knife sticking out of his leg. That's the only thing I pictured. Only instead of Will Ferrell, it was Lacey, so...
Oh, poor Lace.
And then Jamie Anna did comment back. She said the story is above, but you know, in true Facebook fashion, my guess is that either they filtered it out or something. I'm not seeing it, but we'll get the story at some point either way. But we do invite you guys to chime in on our Facebook comment section about a hilarious or ridiculous way you've injured yourself. And of course, we come with some backup. For instance, you have user Lilar, whatever it is, says, I was sitting at a fast food restaurant with my family, and we had all finished eating. All that was left on the table were a couple of drinks, mine included. I'm not 100% sure what was said. Boy, words are hard today. I'm not 100% sure what was said, but my sister made me laugh so hard, I threw my head forward and managed to slash my forehead open on a plastic straw, to the point where I drew blood and you could see little scrapes of skin in the straw. It wasn't deep enough to require stitches, but it was definitely bad enough that makeup couldn't cover it up. Yeah. Impalement by straw is not something you would expect to see most days.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not one you would think of either, you know?
Yeah, no.
Because straws are pretty harmless. You definitely would not, you just wouldn't think that would be something. But
especially those terrible paper straws that you get mostly in California now, but other places are rolling them out.
Yeah.
The ones that get soggy after 5 seconds in whatever the liquid is.
Do you ever do like klutzy, dumb things and then wonder like, what the hell just happened? Like, for example, you ever open a cabinet door or something and you freaking bonk your head and you're like, how the hell did that just happen? Like, did that really just happen? You know what I mean?
Not in that particular instance, but the one that sort of does come to mind is in my kids' room. One of the boys' beds has a leg that goes sort of at a 45-degree angle. I stub my toe every single time I'm in there. I know it's there. I try to put things around it to sort of mentally make myself aware. Without fail, I stub my toe every single time.
And right, and you know it's there, and you're like, son of a...
Oh, yeah. And all you want to do is just yell and curse, but, you know, with kids around, can't exactly do that.
No, you just smile. You're like, Daddy's good. You know, it's funny. I was teaching a couple of the new stockers at work the other day, like what I wanted we like to keep our pallets neat, clean, straight on the line. And as I'm showing them, I was like, yeah, when you see this, you pull these forward. Well, my head was under the steel. It's happened. I've worked for 20 years at Costco. I can't tell you how many times I've whacked my head on that orange steel beam, dude. It just happens. And it looks bad. It's kind of like a little kid, you know, when they fall and whop and everyone's like, because it looks painful. And I think I'm just so numb to it now. It's like, I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's still there.
It is what it is. I think that smack, for exaggeration purposes, hurt more than the beam there.
Now, Tony, how do you do with being tickled? I'm somebody who doesn't like being tickled. It makes me more mad than I find hilarious.
Secret tickle time? You have a name for it? I don't know. When I was a kid, my aunt used to tickle me until I would threaten to pee my pants. So
my youngest one, Reese, he wants me to continue tickling him. I was like, why?
Yeah, not me. Tickling's the weird thing. I like that it makes me laugh. Like it gets me giggly. That's funny, but I don't have like any particular. I'm not very ticklish either, though. Like I do have ticklish spots, I guess. But
okay, all right.
You know, I'm not super ticklish. Now, it can be. I actually like to try when I was dating this one girl, like she didn't like being tickled, but when you did it, just the laugh she would give. So it made me want to do it more, which is dumb.
You're a sadist, or no? You're a sadist. In any case,
is that what it is?
Here is a tickle-related incident from user Shellar. Says, my friend's sister tried to tickle me.
Shellar!
So I stepped backwards, tripping and falling into an open dishwasher. There was a butcher knife in the silverware tray pointed up. It went about 6 inches into my butt and had to be surgically removed. Oh, could you imagine describing that when you go to the ER? It was an accident, I swear.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. It's just crazy. Like some of the dumbest ways you can get injured, and it's nuts because it can happen out of nowhere. You could be doing the dumbest thing. I could get injured by the end of the show just sitting here.
Yep.
It could just happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, like I don't know. Maybe like this desk has got like the leg is cracked on it. It's literally on its last leg. When I move, it's going out in the dumpster. It's a nice desk, but it's been moved way too much. And I mean, this thing could like buckle. And like during the show, you could see everything go.
It'd be a Final Destination type moment. But to cap things off with self-induced injuries, what you were saying just reminded me. There was one time I threw out my back by getting up in the morning, stretching my arms over my head, and just pop, and there went my back. So in any case, that does it for today's call-in topic of self-inflicted injuries. Monday, our topic is porch pirates. When have you had to deal with people who...
Yeah, me mateys, I take your Amazon packages back to the shanty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When have you had to deal with these inscrutable people, and maybe
hooligans?
What did you do to find some joy in a little bit of payback? But folks, when we come back, G-Man is joining us. It is Friday, NFL Week 13 picks. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in just a few.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But
2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, folks, we've thankfully made it to the final segment of not only the show, but of this week. Given the technical issues, it is, I think we're putting this horse out of its misery. But it's the joys of live radio, the things that we got to deal with. But nonetheless, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it is easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the shows link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts, whether it's Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure am.
Stay Puft is the last thing we need right now.
Yeah, we've already had enough destruction this week. We'll go easy on it.
Exactly. Well, folks, while you are there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends because sharing is caring. Tony, I just totally stole that from you because I was laughing at your yawn.
I was you did the wrong burgundy. You just read the teleprompter. It's all good. But I was gonna say sharing is caring. I had nothing fancy with it, so you're okay.
It's par for the course. At this point, we're just trying to get through these last 7 minutes too.
7 minutes.
Well, as we do at the end of each show, we drop a little knowledge, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Crossing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right.
Kristian Fenix.
This day in 1875, William McGeer Tweed, also known as Boss Tweed, escapes from jail. I would assume escaping from jail was a lot easier in 1875 than it is today.
Oh, yeah. Back then, it just seems like it was just get somebody to get you the big skeleton key and just,
Right.
you know, we had like the dog go get it. Here, Poochie, go get that.
I'm pretty sure that's just Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, it probably happened.
Moving on, this day in 1915, Henry Ford's peace ship, Oscar II, sails for Europe to get the boys out of the trenches by Christmas, obviously referring to World War I. I didn't realize that he was in any way involved in that or trying to get people out. So just another thing that Henry Ford did.
Good on him. And it's funny when you said peace ship, I thought you were going with Ford and peace and something that rhymes with ship. That's what I thought you were going with.
Hey, I wouldn't blame you there.
And I said ship. So we're good.
And you
None
know
of that matters. We're on internet radio because even if I said it, it's not going to matter. But I didn't want to say it to keep the trend of not cussing going.
Exactly. And you've got firsthand experience, so you can certainly talk to Ford's reliability.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This day in 1927, jazz musician and composer Duke Ellington opens at the Cotton Club in Harlem. Oh, those good old Duke Ellington days. You know, a lot of people don't know the name, but if you were alive back then, he was a superstar. Biggest name in
Yes, flute with Duke Ellington.
Boy, it is a slow day in this day in history. So, you know, we're going to hit a little of the lesser-known facts. For instance, this day in 1961,
You're good there.
the female contraceptive pill becomes available on the National Health Service in Britain. And
Now you can have some unprotected sex. That pill will protect you. No babies.
No babies, but
Yeah.
watch out for the syphilis.
Wink, wink, wink. Yeah.
This day in 1966, military working dog Nemo saves the life of his handler, Airman Robert A. Thronberg, during the Vietnam War, surviving a gunshot wound to the nose. That is a hero if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah. Woof, dude. Woof.
Wow. There is, I mean, it's all political, it's all war stuff today, but
It's all crap.
it is crazy. But
you know, I could always help fill in with you if you want. I could look at our this day in entertainment history.
well, the good news is that it's a slightly shorter segment because we went a little bit long with the G-Man's picks because of the technical issues. So I think we'll have enough. For instance, this day in 1980, 2 months after the death of drummer John Bonham, Led Zeppelin announces that they will disband. I'm curious if they tried looking for a replacement and then decided it was useless, or if it was just one of those things they needed time to grieve and then decided to disband. But in recent years, when they've reunited for very few shows, they've actually used John Bonham's son, Jason Bonham.
Yeah. I like that they do that in moderation. We get so many bands that break up and then they get back together. They do these big ass reunion tours, and they break up again. And I was just reading yesterday when I was putting together entertainment news. It was Kiss's final farewell tour plans to hit Antarctica. And I'm thinking in my head, I go, how many effing farewell tours is this band doing? Jeez Louise, dude.
Yeah, I think we saw their
You
farewell
and I
tour
saw
in
the farewell
2000.
tour in 2000. Yeah. Jeez Louise, man. And that was, according to Math is Hard, that was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
You'd have to tune into the earlier segment to get that lame joke. I know it's not 25. Don't hate on me. It's 20. I get it.
Well, moving on, here's a jagged little pill to swallow. This day in 1996, during the 7th Billboard Music Awards, Alanis Morissette is the big winner.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I really liked that ironic video when I was a kid. Not just because it's multiple personality Alanis Morissette, but we used to have the closed caption on, was stuck on our little crappy Sanyo TV. Remember that brand?
Oh,
Sanyo?
I remember those. Yep.
Yeah. So I had a crappy Sanyo. And every time that video came on, what I liked about it is the closed caption for each personality they'd zip in would be a different color. It's like one would be pink, one would be light blue, one would be red. And that was the only music video they did that to. So
interesting.
Useless trivia.
Speaking of which, weren't Ryan Reynolds and Alanis Morissette once a thing?
They were.
That's crazy to think.
Crazy, right?
Yep. And then finally, let's close out the day with some of today's holidays. Luckily, there are quite a few of those.
Holiday! Celebrate!
For instance, today is Bartender Appreciation Day. And after the problems we're having, I'm going to be appreciating a bartender, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And tip your bartenders well if they're really good.
Speaking of recognition of good work, it is Extraordinary Work Team Recognition Day. So,
shout out to my night merch crew, especially everyone that's coming at midnight. My boys Brett and PJ and Ray, and those are the only two that have gotten back to me so far. So yay.
Today is also Faux Fur Day, and hopefully that doesn't coincide with International Cheetah Day, because you don't want to be wearing authentic cheetah fur. It is
you sure don't. And you don't want to go to Big Cat Rescue either.
No. It is National Dice Day, so if you're a tabletop gamer, it's a good day to celebrate that. It's National Cookie Day. I'm going to celebrate that one for sure.
Oh, man, crumble sounds good.
Mm-hmm. It is International Sweater Festival Day. It is Wear Brown Shoes Day. Also National Sock Day. And then it is Wildlife Conservation Day. Folks, we will be back Monday with a brand new show. Hopefully less technical issues, but hey, that's the way things go. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Later.